Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Harran series of Crusader Gigs 3 here on the Lord Master channel. And things are really looking up, especially with the amount of money that we gained, in case you didn't see the previous episode. Because we have found a way to make some very easy cash and easy get rich thing. And now I'm about to burn some money. And then once I get done burning it, I'm going to go out on another pilgrimage, go out on another trip, and maybe we'll make some more fortune here, and maybe perhaps a few new friends. So yeah, I'm a traveling man now. Life is good. I may be generous, but hey, you need the money in order to give away or to spend something, because that's what generosity is all about. Now, in the immediate political situation, the Armenians are causing trouble again. It's a war against the tyranny of Caliph Muafak, who has passed away a couple of months ago, in fact, which I didn't point that out in the previous episode. So he died of unknown causes. We don't know what happened to him, but he's dead now. So now it's led by my friend. Yes, friend since our youth. So he'll be good to me if we can get out of the Armenian principalities and then maybe rejoin him. Knowing that one day, I mean, his armies are on the way, probably likely to go to the Armenian homeland rather than, like say down here. And I do have plans to expand finally, because we do have a claim on Ras al-Din, which that area is full of Assyrian Christians. We have a large minority of the Armenian Apostolic Church followers because of the liege here who's trying to convert the land here. He hasn't done it for his own, but most certainly he's trying to convert there. In fact, is currently in the process of it. I only want Ras al-Din because it's got some more crop fields, which means more income. And I need that income. But obviously our army is small. And that's one of the first things that I will spend. Increase the size of the military. Let's not spend too much. And get a second man-at-arms regiment. We do not have siege weapons. We don't have that tech for that. Oh, hang on. Where is it? Need to hire a marshal because recruitment costs reduced. Because I don't want to spend too much. And give me at least this. This is a special for the Arabic cultures. The Marburizun. Trained in both formation fighting and single combat, Arabic Marburizun can crush most of infantry in battle. It's unique because it's a heavy infantry unit that can take out that counters against spearmen and other heavy infantry, which is very good when you're fighting against anybody who's got armored footmen or spearmen, especially the spearmen, which are good for hill and mountain fighting. And this has no terrain advantages or disadvantages for the Marburizum. So this is a must-have for any army. It'll take about 18 months to get it up to full strength. What else? As we would increase the size of our army. And another trick I have in my sleeve is to recruit steppe warriors. Now that I've been networking with the local steppe communities in my realm, I wonder if some of their feared warriors would be willing to fight under my banner. Their skills in horsemanship, archery, hand-to-hand combat, and other forms of fighting, as well as their deep knowledge of strategy, tactics, and logistics could help me in my wars. So I'll get an army of 250 men. It's not much, but every little bit helps. Better they fight for me than against me. Few will ever doubt the ferocity and might of the warriors from the steppes, who fiercely combine ruthless courage, skills in horsemanship, and a variety of weapons, and shrewd cunning to defeat their foes. The mere mention of their galloping hordes is enough to strike fear into the hearts of many across the Silk Road. I'm fortunate that the local steppe community is agreeable towards me. In fact, I managed to convince a number of them to volunteer to serve in my armies. Now my armies will tremble before me. So now I have an additional of 50 horse archers and 100 light horsemen and 100 more levies. And we'll stand down on succession, so they'll be around as long as I live. So now we have cavalry, counter against skirmishers and heavy infantry, and light horsemen to counter against archers. So we should be alright against any common form of infantry out there. So we'll be close up to near 1,000. And a garrison there is 302, so we need a substantial number for us to eventually fight for that area. And also recruit a dry terrain specialist. As Aslamyan are used to the scorching heat of the sun and travel far and wide under its scorching influence. If I wish to move my armies without having an perishing heat, I should ask for their guidance. I need a high martial commander with a desert warrior trait that joins my court. Hey, it's Ashraf, yeah. You were there for me. I say you were there for me because, when we were doing that pilgrimage of Baghdad in the previous episode, this is the man who was a Silk Road merchant. And we decided to recruit terrain specialist. Like he says, hey, we're looking for a dry terrain specialist. And Ashraf, who did a bunch of business, as he says, it's a prominent merchant along the so-called Silk Road. Whether the land-based or maritime trade routes, they have the experience in arts, trade, and travel and negotiation. Not to mention a pilgrim, and quite an inexperienced traveler. Now he's a desert warrior and an unyielding defender. So perhaps we should not fear the Armenian armies anymore if we were to fight against them. But I mean, I could see the Armenian army now. This is what they have. Small levies. They got at least one of the good ones. And you know, that's the man that I actually have the alliance with. They got two different kinds of archers for different terrain purposes. I got a bunch of light footmen, and they also have some of their archer cavalry. Not to be trifled with. But however, she's leading the army, who is not really good at her craft. And also she is spiritually distressed. She's very distressed due to the failure of the spiritual retreat to sage the soul. With that kind of low advantage, and deploying one of my commanders up to the front, could definitely beat her in a fight, but that'd be a little difficult if we were to fight against the Armenians in an independence war. Again, that's all hypothetical. And since I'm a wise man now, I should hold a mystical communion. The only one who truly knows. I will reach for the presence of the One and a transfixated ecstasy. I may have some divine guidance, though there might be some unforeseen side effects. Get that as well. No, not that. Where's invite? There you go. Need a few more able-bodied men. That's another thing I'm spending my money on. We're recruiting for some great fighters. Because we're going to expand one day. And for some time, I've been wanting to improve the development here. Well, we can do that. Another thing I'm spending big money on. Fund the construction of a qanat. Qanats are underground systems of canals that have been built across much of the Middle East for centuries to deliver a reliable supply of water to the locals. By funding the construction of one, I can improve the locals' quality of life. So your county capital will receive that modifier lasting 10 years and will receive a corresponding character modifier and earn some prestige. The strength of these bonuses depends on how much funding is for it. For context, a Khanat, also known as Fagara in North Africa, Quris in Central Asia, Faj in Oman, and many other names, is a system of underground water channels indigenous to the Iranian plateau, but that subsequently spread across much of the Middle East, North Africa, and Central Asia. For centuries, even today, they're used as a source of water in these regions, whether for drinking, irrigation, cooling, and so on. They could range in size from very small efforts initiated by a few peasants to grand public works projects funded by local elites. We do have that information. For centuries, people in the Middle East and North Africa have built and utilized the Khanat waterways to channel water across great distances. It has become custom for people of status like myself to sponsor the construction of such public works projects. I decided to do just that. Once the Khanat is finished constructing, it will provide a reliable source of water to the community it is built in, whether for agriculture, drinking, washing, or something else. Now I have to consider how much funding I'm willing to provide for this endeavor, and how large of a Khanat I wish to sponsor. Give me a Grand Khanat. This will definitely help the land here. For 10 years. Yep. We're definitely increasing that development here. In a year's time, the whole peasants being mad about their large minority being expelled, they'll soon get over it. But we're not expelling the Assyrian minority. They haven't caused any trouble yet. And in the meantime, we gotta wait for 3 years. And then after that, we'll make another improvement of this. I want to get this perk next, just to build buildings faster. And maybe that as well. And I'll likely switch back and go for medicine. Because, you know, it's pretty tiring to get sick every time. We're all on good terms. Anything else I want to spend my money on? Wherever the Epithet armies are going, don't be too concerned. Hey, since you have a higher amount of stewardship, help me with this. I just saw it just now. Establish trade route. Attempt to establish a trade route on my domain, increasing the taxes I collect. The certainty of establishing a trade route is not guaranteed. It depends positively or negatively on your stewardship skill. Positively on having a stewardship education. The size of the trade route may vary. Again, depending on party's stewardship skill. Well, it should be good enough. Take the risk with this policy. Now save the rest of the money to wait for some Marcia strong men. As I woke up today with sore limbs, experiencing vomits, persistent cough, and with extreme lack of energy. Probably just a passing element. There's always an nagging possibility of far worse. Hopefully everything will be alright as I commune with a one. Oh, and also I arranged some marriages here. Because we're also looking for, you know, a guy like him. With a high martial skill. Plus, he's Danish. And if we were to fight in a battle alongside with us, you may never know he'll pick up the Berserker trait. Which would be a benefit. Having carried my exotic wares all the way from Baghdad, I need to decide what to do with them. Should I sell them at a profit? Or keep them as a gift for my next personal scheme? It's because we went on a worldly pilgrimage and we bought some really exotic wares. We'll be able to sell them back to triple that amount. Scheme power. No need for that. Sell it. Talented debutantes have gathered from across the realm and presented to me. After careful consideration, the court has come to consensus that the most qualified to join the court would be among Duha, Minu, or Mastana. Mastana's the best candidate. The reason I have you here. Just need a slightly better Semest. Hang on. And also my son Ismat is to be married to a Sogdian Kurmasta woman. Yes, that's Sogdian Zoroastrianism. I mean, it says it down here. Bactral Sogdian Yazadas. Which is, again, it was part of the, a couple of months ago, the Rice mod came out with the Chorazm flavor pack. Which they did add some things related to Zoroastrianism, such as changing one of its tenets for Kurmazda. I mean, they've had Adapter before. They had Skyrails before. But I forgot what they replaced for. Oh, they replaced esotericism for ancestor worship. And added these Yazadas. Which again, I mean, I would love to give out more detail of what that's all about, but I think in a far future I will do a Zoroastrian playthrough. And perhaps a Sogdian one as well. Now anyways, why this woman is to be married despite the fact she's a total foreigner and a totally different faith, marrying a man who is of Arabic and Serbian heritage, but culturally Serbian? Well, that's a good question. Because, you know, in the Dark Ages and knowing that too much won't die, and life is short for just about everybody. So I kind of want him to be married immediately. I'm married to a Sogdian woman who is pretty. She's a novice physician, and she's quite a traveler herself. Fortunately, the illness that's affected this progressed over the last few days. But sigh of relief, I return to my normal life and duties. Right. Mukta. Obese. Come on in, big man. Is he going to Rasa? Oh yeah, he's going to besiege that area. Or not. To Araka? Just in case. Fabricate a claim. Additional payment in recent trade, I find myself in the possession of a large herd of cattle. I've been assured that the animals are of highest quality, but the question of what should be done with them remains. It's a beautiful herd, but it could be larger. Yeah, large cattle herd. Yep, now they're besieging this area, and the other army's gonna go to here. That means my line could be next. I better get out of here. I mean, I know where I'm gonna go. Vacation. That's where I'm going. My attempt to establish trade out to my domain has brought some merchants to my counties, and a probable commercial network has been established. Good. Significant trade route for 20 years. A significant trade route was established in this character's domain, thus increasing the tax collected. In order of importance of trade routes can be minor, significant, busy, major, or rich. Okay, I thought significant would be better, but so there's 5 tiers then. Okay, that's good. And speaking of good, help me with the core politics because we're going to prepare to depart because of the situation on the front line, which I fear that I could come to here. Glad we're getting along. Armenians on the move again. Hunter, come here. While out on a leisurely stroll, a crowd of particular merchants stands out from the regular hustle and bustle of the street. Greetings, my lord. I have an exquisite amount of wares, if my lord has the coin. As I peer at the myriad of goods in stall, I can hear I some of it. The etchings on that piece must be real, and quite valuable too. He glances at me with a triumphant smile. Look, it doesn't say anything about regarding. Oh no, it does affect steward. So 60% chances I'll be a decent negotiator, 40% chances it wasn't a great deal. So also, I believe this piece will be a more lucrative choice. Successful haggle. Once we're past the next 2 stalls, I have beams. Yes, quite good indeed. I could have done it better, much better myself. He casually eyes on the balls in the stall next to us and shoots me with an anticipating side glance. An animal figurine. This tiny animal appears to have a broad beak, shiny fur coat, and flippers. How particular. A duck? Is that what it's describing? A duck? A swan? What? But let me tell you something. Maybe I could teach you a couple of strategies, just to earn me a little bit more of the steward's lifestyle, but it's a successful persuasion. One more room for the trinket to have a little less stress gain. In fact, I think we reached a point where I can no longer gain any stress. Probably at that point now. Yeah, I think it's time for me to go. Let's go out on another pilgrimage. We've been to Baghdad, but now how about we go to Athens? Let's go long. We can travel by boat, but look at the safety. 61. This is due to travel safety because of the options that I'm still going to use. Be safe and traveling with Silk Road merchants, which now there's a 13% chance. And also I was a pilgrim. Kamal is a pilgrim. So we know the way of pilgrimages. I'll do the custom round in just a moment. And I'm gonna go for Contemplate, which reduces the travel speed by 50%, but you'll earn more piety upon completion. If the purpose of pilgrimage is rumination, then what's the point in hurrying? The journey is half the point, after all. I was gonna go for altruism, but zealotry is you're particularly firm in your beliefs and will be looking for opportunities to share convictions of others. Because, you know, we'll be traveling to Greek lands and maybe we can convert some of those Greeks to Harranism and join our court. Just to say, have you forgotten your old ways? Well, come on in. This is something that you people have lost your knowledge of. Unless they already knew it and they kind of don't care. With the Christianity and such. So basically, I'm going around these lands, and if we encounter events of people along the way, we're going to try to convert them. With me is, of course, my lovely wife, Draga, Kamala the Karen Master and friend. The court shaman, Aziz, will be there. Hossein Nazrid will be here with me also. And Gunnar with me as well. Unless we want to bring more. So, ceremonial, also bring attendants and pious hanger-ons. So Mukhtar, Dostan Gunnarson. Ah, help, just bring everybody. Even my son will be with me too. Anybody who's interested can join up. And yes, that includes this one. Everybody's going to be a pilgrim. And you're all going to experience this great journey with us. We're going to take our time, and it's going to be a throng. All the faithful should see our secret places, and I tend to help them. Let's all go on vacation to Greece. I don't know what vacation is proper. It's just I want to get away from, this potential, Armenian issue that is crouching. So, okay. First place to, first we're going to go to Rhodes. And then after Rhodes, we will make our landing in Corinthos. Yes, to Corinthos, and then we'll be in Athens. And then we're going to take the scenic route and head to Taberna. Yeah, also I have to point this out. Rhodos, because it's a points of interest. Fortifications of Rhodes. This part of the medieval arts mod, that's why they added more points of interest. Since antiquity, the city of Rhodes has been famed for its strong defensive networks. Current walls of defense have been built over the course of generations. Parts of the fortifications are ruined, the result of past earthquakes from centuries ago, while in other places the fortifications are maintained to an acceptable level. With some investment, these ancient events could be turned into something greater one day. So once we arrive, more martial lifestyle and season. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to increase the travel trade path for both. Especially Wanderer. I'd like to be a bit more healthy. And all that. As well as faster travel speed if I wish to join other people's tournaments. Or just make one for yourself. And after Rhodes, then we will go into Corinthos, where it's the hemisphere. A massive semicircle open hall for centuries used as a meeting point for political life in ancient Corinth. Yes. And then we will go to Athens, to the Acropolis. Few cities can compare to the past of Athens, though its ruins are a show of its glorious past. The magnificent Acropolis remains the greatest of the classical works. Then we'll be traveling across the country, even though there's a 10% chance of danger, but our safety is so high that even if this one area's got lack of sheriffs, nobody's going to bother us. And then after we will head to Taberna, where it's the Rotunda of Thessaloniki, a colossal dome building inspired by the Pantheon in Rome. Its interiors are decorated with mosaics of unique artistry and beauty. The golden tesserae shimmering in the sunlight coming from the oculus. The structure is connected by a colonnade of massive marble arch built by late Caesar Galerius. Oculus, circular opening in the center of a dome or in a wall. It finds its roots in Roman architecture, famously in the Pantheon. After Therma, then we'll go down to Pelagiaros. The Pelagiaros, which is home of a mining settlement there. The Citadel mines are rich in silver and gold and are exploited by 12 separate villages that run a part of the mines. If I had some inspired people with me, but that's increased quality and all that. Or is that for those who live there rather than what happens when we come across it? And then we go to Arzos, home of Mount Athos, an ancient monastic complex constructed over one of the holiest mountains. Very few are allowed to access it, and women are forbidden to touch its soul. Because, you know, Orthodox Christianity. And then we will go to Constantinopolis, home of Constantinople, which, of course, you know that area very, very well. Ancient and mighty, wealthy and proud, the city of world's desires is a marvel to gaze at. Traders, pilgrims, and travelers from every corner of the globe comes to its impregnable walls that many a time repelled invading hordes, and look upon the golden mosaics and marble columns with awe in their eyes. And a column, for those who don't know, the structural element that transmits the weight of the structure above to other structural elements below. In particular, the column is characterized by a round shaft, a more or less ornate Taberna base, and this thing is the uppermost portion of the column. Its appearance can vary greatly, such as from the Dorian capital, Ionian capital, Corinthian capital, or Lotus capital traditions. After we get past Byzantium, then we will try to take a turn to go to Nicaea, home of its walls. Constructed by the Caesars centuries ago, these impregnable double walls protect the route to Constantinople. And then after that, we will try to play it safe, go down to Pergamon, and then head to Ephesus, the Ephesus Basilica. A massive basilica constructed over the burial site of John the Apostle in the time of Justinian. Its bricks and ashlar walls are supported by elegant marble columns from the Proconnesus and lavishly decorated with golden mosaics. And then after that, we're all going to go to Halicarnassus, to home of the Mausoleum. The Mausoleum of Halicarnassus, constructed to house the remains of the king Marsilius in one of the ancient great seven wonders of the world. It was renowned for not only its massive size, but also for its incredibly detailed sculpture ornaments and phrases. Although greatly damaged by exploitation and time, it still stands, rising above any other structure in the city. And then after Halicarnassus, we're going to take a little detour inland to Amorium, home of the Amorium. Destroyed in a violent raid of 838, the ancient Amorium has shrunk to Castra up to the fortified hill. Beneath its walls, however, ruins of a proud and fallen city still fundamentally characterized life for its citizens. And after we're done with that, and we will go back home. This will be a 2-year travel. We're going to leave by boat from Antioch, and we'll travel around the Gulf of, these gulfs by the Levantine Sea to Rhodes, and then go into Greece, which the only minor danger that we could come across is actually going to be there. But I'm not too terribly worried about it. So, ready? This is going to be a long one, because this is basically going to characterize this. Wait! Missed something. Customize around. Pergamon. Chaos. The mastic trees. At the moment, the various mastic trees are spread across the island of chaos in a disorganized and underdeveloped manner, reducing fisheries mastic production. So we just take a little loop around the island of chaos and then come back and around. So yeah, that covers all bases. I mean, I wish I could go to Rome and such, but I just needed an excuse to get out more and make some potential money. So, ready? We're going to be spending quite a bit, and we're going to make a lot back. Traveling with me is the Syriac, Dekla Zacharias. A lot of people will be with me, because this is going to be a pilgrimage like no other. We're going to Athens because that's where the first Neoplatonic Academy was. Get your diplomacy up. My diplomacy. So, ready? Go! All while preparing for my journey, I've had a sense of serenity and knowing that everything will be alright. I'm pleased to embark on this pilgrimage to Ateke, or Athens, in order to feel get even closer to the one. Now, more than ever, I feel certain that he will watch over me on my travels. I can't wait. So I added 2 more potential pilgrims that will be coming with me. Because I needed to get out of Harran because there's a war going on. Okay. A smitten heathen. In the markets of Harran, a familiar man makes an appearance. Like a puppy, he has followed us for days, with pleading eyes. My lord, your admin, Mastana, will she ever love me? For she is Haranian, and I am of the Arachelican faith. But is there a chance? He seems infatuate, but Mastana looks less certain. Would the one approve of this union? Well, you're terrified of me. But this is a worldly pilgrimage, so I'd rather be more worldly to this. So I'll say, oh my dear, you should talk to her, not me. Okay, sure to have an interesting courtship rituals, but I must observe them. Okay, now this is not a pious pilgrimage, I'm doing it worldly. So they either hit it off, or they cause a scene. They hit it off. Love thy neighbor. Among my fellow pilgrims, there's a man who preaches compassion and fellowship until he reaches the topic of eatings. One evening around the campfire, loudly declares them to be abominable monsters in the eyes of the gods, deviants and child murderers all. Most people avert their eyes when he looks at them. Tonight I was not clear. Do you not agree, O Wali? They're not all that bad. At the fork of the road outside Arta, a forlorn Sunni shrine marked with Shahada stands amidst the gravel. In these shelter humble offerings left by travelers and locals, surrounded by the remains of countless candles now extinguished. My Faris Hussein stops to pray, as my concubine, Deglit, rolls her eyes, tutting loudly. Oh, he's got a very high opinion of me. So I'll just say, hey, don't mind if I do. More useful to me after all. Shrine proliferate. She'll like it, but every other Harrani will not like me for that. Again, I need money. Oh gosh, another outbreak of a war. Independence War. 2 areas. One is a member of the House Abbasid, and the other a local Sogdian ruler over in Tabriz, which in fact that area is inhabited by Kuramites. Glad I'm getting out of here. Now we go on a boat trip. Taking our sweet time. And maybe make some silk trade out at sea. If not, we'll do it in Greece. Don't worry. My good old Serbian wife is here to treat you. Made it in Rhodes. As I continue my holy journey, I encounter a man by the roadside, caked in filth and wet with his tears. Are you happy now? You've taken everything from me. How am I to go on in a world ruled by a creature as cruel as God? Clearly he is desperate as having a crisis of faith. Surprised you could speak that without stammering that sentence. Doesn't say anything about becoming more worldly. There is an answer in Asclepius. Conversion successful. Traversing the hills on the outskirts of Rhodes, we are suddenly attacked by a swarm of bandit riders, out for blood. Another set of riders rapidly approaching a nearby holding, led by Praetor Philopos. I am very pleasantly surprised by the altruistic demeanor of the local Praetor, and I praise the one that they arrived just in time. Philopos circles back around with a victorious grin on his face. You should join us for some Illin hospitality at Rhodos. Well, he is the man, and I like the way he dresses. I mean, sure, it's normal for Byzantine cultures, but it's all red. Came to my aid. Thank you very much. We're just on a pilgrimage. Some would call it a 2-year vacation from the what goes on in Harran. Now we're back on the boat. The Queen of Armenia has been captured. Alright, we're actually making Silk Road trade while at sea. Because we're still technically in Rhodes. 13. See if we can make it better. 137. Haggling succeeds. Keep an eye on her. Just, we know that we're still at sea, but I want to know what happens after the war. Can surrender any time now. Well, you're boned now. Made it we're in Argos. We've not technically reached Corinth yet. Had this nagging sensation for a while now. My pilgrimage has turned out to be more hazardous than I anticipated. Or maybe I simply haven't endured enough trials to prove myself worthy of the Supreme One's protection just yet. I have, however, spotted a few impressive individuals in the local settlement of Argos who would surely improve the safety of the pilgrimage in a hands-on manner. we do need talented men. So, Asgius seems like a fine specimen. Come on in. And since he's zealous, he's not likely going to convert to the old ways. Oh, another obese man who's rather feeble. Feeble and obese, that's doubly unfortunate. We'll have to bring you in. Stick around. We're almost to Athens. Visit the hymns. Passing by the campfire, a pilgrim from another entourage is telling a story she once heard about the Wali from some faraway place called Harran, to Ross's laughter. As she notices my hesitation, the storyteller looks at me reassuring. Don't worry, my lord. This is surely about some other high and mighty nobleman. I take a seat by the fire. Really? Tell me more of this, Wali. Made it to Tier 1. Guess our titles are not revoked yet. I don't know what goes on there. Or what is the court authority in the Abbasid Caliphate. Court Shaman Aziz is considered a paragon of Haranian virtue. Spotless conduct and tireless work as a scholar and preacher helped to reinvigorate the faith significantly in the past few years. Going through Megara, and now we have reached Athens, home of the old Neoplatonic Academy, or the ruins of it. I'm finally here, body and soul at the great temple of Athens. As the head priest offers me blessings, I reflect on everything that happened for the gods to bring me here at this moment of time. I have walked the holy path. 20 trade experience for a pilgrim. You need to get up there if you want to do more of that. Be here for 3 months. And I see that you're pregnant, come on. For at least 3 months now. Way to go. Let me take a drink. Walia Draga, my wife, appears out over the sprawling holy site of Atake as we make our way through the crowd. Atake is truly a sight to behold, where cultures meet and faiths come together to worship. Are we not blessed to get to experience such familiarity and companionship? She looks at me expectantly. Cannot have this because our culture is not xenophilic, which the few cultures I know of that has this tradition are Takarians and Polish, I believe, as well. Oh, and Uyghurs too. Yeah. Well, see, the feats spirituality can achieve. Pondered over this shared spiritual journey. Paul spent solidarity prayer. I organized a religious procession. I preached to the wrath of the One. As very solemn to pass the stalls of the Attica market, we are approached by a small child with a wide, bright eyes. He peers up as he exclaims, I know a secret place where the One lives. He puts on a determined face. He continues, I can show you if you want. Having studied the maps, I know there is nothing on that side of Attica except hazardous wasteland. Hazardous wasteland? This is a 5-year-old talking to me. Who's rowdy. Lying doesn't suit you, my child. Haggled in the markets, because of course. Gained more wanderer experience. Where are you? Next door neighbor. And this is your heir. Dreamt of joining a gladiatorial team? Okay. Yeah, we could be neighbors. I mean, you need an alliance, and every little help I can get for future conflicts. We still got a long way to go, okay? The markets of attack is bustling with merchants shouting in languages I never heard, oh, and selling spices I've never tasted. Guide to the pilgrim. Learn the safest routes. Discover the marvels of Attica. One of them yells, waving a small book in my direction. Again, I don't really need that. So I'll just say, let me take a look. Ah, and if you take this turn... As our time at the sacred site draws to an end, I may have missed out on the oddly worldly opportunity, but I'm overall happy with the experience. This being my second pilgrimage, I can't help but to compare to my previous visit to Baghdad and all this holiness. I'm also thrilled by the notion of having visited a new holy site. Attica, has been an honor. Intrigued pilgrim. And yes, gained 20 experience from the pilgrim trade which I had before. And now we got about 18 months to get back. And Gunnar has come of age, who we brought her along on this trip. And now she's gonna set to depart. She's been offered a betrothal. A natural minister of her birth. It should surprise no one that Gunnar has come far in the studies of management of the realm. Displaying a thorough understanding of the flow of gold and the wanderings of people, she even expresses a remarkable creativity in dealing with these matters. Draga's contributions towards her education cannot go unmentioned. Her guidance helped the child reach further than I could have alone. She is a fortune builder. It doesn't show that I can accept the betrothal now. Guess we have to wait till we get back home. Then the betrothal will be accepted. It seems our caravan has become a little lost in these foreign lands. Kamal's been trailing us around Wallachia for hours, though she swallowed her pride and asked for directions. She does not appear to be an expert Hellenica speaker. Fortunately, I'm fluent in Hellenica, so we gained 7 days progress towards next destination. I've known Greek since I was young. In fact, that should become mandatory for future pilgrimages. You gotta learn the languages of the foreign lands. After spending so much time with a guardian, Draga of Harran comes clear that my child Mina has adopted her culture. Although I never called for it, but interesting nevertheless. I am proud through documents, both ancient and of the less advanced. I finally have enough material to make the case that you are the rightful lord of Raqqa. Saying Azan unfortunately insists on being of the Armenian Christian. I could even argue that you might have to claim the whole of Taberna by divine right. Well, I did want more land by any means, so yeah, give me it. Hopefully we'll make some money on our way back. And here we go. Just again. 84, 80. $56. Visited Rotunda, made 148. So we could build buildings faster. And visited the mining settlement, that's why the stewardship perk came up as it jumped up. I'm looking. At least the Epithet should be winning this war once they get there. Oh, so I didn't look at the 9 months. Athos. The caravan leader Kamala's got twins. Granddaughter, grandson. But however, this one's club-footed. Eh. Oh, I'll leave it to you both. We got additional taxes. Truly, a stroll around Christopolis is good from Gaia. The tranquility's place is suddenly and abruptly broken by the furious grunts of Klingon. Hark! Get me out of this metal prison! My squire took offense at my matter. He was going as far as to call me heartless and has abandoned me. Whatever this strange man did, it could not have been enough to justify being stuck forever in his arm. Of course, I could have someone to help him, but is it truly worth it? Look, see, I may be generous, but doing so that it goes against my character, I gain no stress because my learning is so high and a few other character modifiers up. You'll never gain stress again. So, consider the armor gone. For a price. Would you like to come to court? No? Then come with me. And he's here already. And also convert to Harranism. There might be some use for you. For once, danger. As we trek through Christopolis, our caravan has stopped at a clearing bordered by leafy bushes. I proceed towards the commotion only to find Ezekiel's and Samuel having an irate row. I'll have no more of your idiocy, you Cantavis scullion, as he stamps his foot in the mud. You're the one who has whined this entire journey, squealing, "Are we there yet?" at every crossroads through it talks. I'm a man of reason. Come now, surely you two can make amends. Which they will, as I'm an entourage mediator. The City of World's Desire, coming up. Visit Constantinople here. On our way through Byzantium, we have appeared to stumble into a local food market. Everywhere, peasants and nobles of every culture and tongue clamored to exotic food stalls. The air thick with fragrances I never had imagined. My nose is drawn to a lowly stall, stacked with a dish I could only dream of. I'm pulled in my haste by the halting grasp of Digley. Do not waste your palate, my lord. Honey fritters are for peasants. We have much finer foods at home. Hey, I'm the Wally, and I want my honey fritter. The food was disgusting, though. Although my health is quite poor, but I'm an experienced traveler. And latest work of my acquaintance, Wally Fatties, has become all of rage accord lately. This piece deals with memory and what we left behind. It's public dedicated to me. Time of memory. He is not leaving this world eventually required, no matter his wealth and treasure required, and hope only for memory's grace, that the history finds true place. So far I kept my thoughts to myself, but the buzz has grown too dramatic to ignore for much longer. Don't know how I feel about this, but I'll say it's truly heartfelt. Come on, we gotta finish this journey. We still got so much sightseeing to go. Yeah, that's what is march related. Organized march. Go for that. That's just I'll travel a little faster than I originally had in mind. It's not the first time I catch my fires. Even not at fiddling around some flowers, been picking along the road. I sometimes swear that I even hear him sighing, overlooking Lassia's holding. My liege, he says, when he notices that I've been observing him. It's not a secret that my heart has found a new home far from home. Alas, my liege, my soul aches for Eupraxia. My desire knows no end. Her eyes, her hair, I long for just a salute, and have a word. Please, I beg you, let me stay with her. Don't you know that she's a daughter of the Praetor of Laconia? And plus, she's married. She ain't gonna like that. I don't think it'll like it, but we have enough room in the court to welcome you both. So she's just traveling, and then we'll send her back home when we're done. Yesterday our travels in Epithet were rather grueling. I was so exhausted I overslept. The rest of my entourage didn't want to wake me up. Say they were worried that I would not be in the right state of mind if they didn't give me enough time to rest. I'll be careful not to oversleep again. Travel a little faster. We could try to pick up the pace a little. Visit those trees. Pesos. Of travels to come. Journeying through Malitos, I passed by a particular looking tent split over with its particular looking occupant inside. Come on, almighty Wally. I can tell you have many miles to go, and I can offer you a reading of your future travels for a modest price. A strange man has piqued the interest of my entourage, but am I willing to pay for a reading? Well, how about you come experience the future with me? This is fine. Traveling through the it's sometimes harsh environments has invigorating effects on my state of mind and vigor. As I glance over Ali, I, however, does not appear to be doing quite as good. His movements is deliberate, his breathing is heavy, spontaneous bursts of color ripple through his body. Clearly he is not well. I think I know a cure. Yep, all better. And now we're gonna go further inland. So we're gonna be heading to Amarion. Been a while. 125. Passing through the lake, and now we're on our way home. As we trek through Familion, our caravan stopped at clearing the border bordered by sparse pines. I'll proceed to the commotion to find Martin and throws thin, having an eye rival. I've nowhere here to say, you miserable fool! Stamps his foot in the dirt. You're the one who's won an entire journey, screaming, we dare yet, at every crossroads. Your toe. But hey, it's an adventure of a lifetime that I've been having. Baghdad to Athens, from the House of Wisdom to the whatever's left of the old Neapolitan Academy in Athens. Now we cross through friendly territory again. Back in the Abbasid Caliphate land. Dangerous interest. Every morning since we reach Anzaribus, my court shaman as his lettered silently glides away from my sight. This time I decide to follow his path and find him a lively chat with a local Mufti Vahan. The ceremony begins as light the candles and illuminates Vahan, while shadows play against the walls like autumn leaves. As this, I call him, sirs, what are you doing? My liege, just occurred to me that there may be more than one truth. There is room for a calm debate here, so I'm convinced of that there is only one truth. Slope! I heard Tom May shout the panic. Soon after I heard a loud cracking sound, like that of wood breaking, or of my patience finally snapping. I step out on the dirt and see the splinter remains of a wagon wheel. My wagon wheel! I'm sorry, my liege, it was my turn as a lookout, and I fell asleep at the reins. Shovel the supplies around, I'll ride rough from now on. I just want to get home. It's a long journey. It's not wise to be traveling in the winter. Teeming of all manner of wildlife, Sinan and I agreed that Courtiers would be a splendid place to go on a hunt. While we don't have the time to stay for proper hunting, as we traversed here, I spot a pristine wild rabbit at the edge of the forest. It has particular markings on its fur, and I motion to Sinan to survey down him. He spots the rabbit. He grins. What do you say, a friendly wager, father? Whoever strikes the pristine fellow with the arrow wins. Sounds like a deal to me. 51% chance that my arrow flawlessly pierces the heart of the rabbit, then I'll gain a lucky rabbit's paw. 40% chance that it's my son who slains that rabbit, and then I'll pay him the money. Which I don't mind getting it back from him, but... sounds like a deal. Sinan is a few paces ahead of me. I just try to get closer to the rabbit for the shot. I struggle to keep up. He aims an arrow at an animal, and in one swift motion releases it straight into the creature's tiny body. Sinan makes a victory gesture and shouts as the rabbit goes limp on the ground. And he hurries forward to pick up the carcass. I clap appreciation. Nice shot. Oh, damn it. It's been snowing for the past few days and the cold is unbearable. I look around and I see my entourage is struggling with it as well. So I decide to travel on foot alongside with them. After we walk through the snowstorm for another hour, Paul pulls me aside, shaking while he yelps. Please, my liege, I cannot feel my toe anymore. Order him to take off his boot and have a look at the stone. It's all dark and blue already. At this point it might be too late to save it. What? Why would I burn my book? Okay, this is for Paul, my courtier. I read a treatment about it in a manuscript once. Oh, now he's got severe frostbite. I'm sorry. So, we're delayed. Snowbound. Now we're gonna get moving again. We can't stay here. Get back home. My journey has been a long one, but I've finally come home again. While much remains the same, something has changed in how the diviners and head priests treat me. I've undergone the journey of a holy man, and they insist something has changed about me, whether I can see myself or not. Oh, it's good to be home. How long was this journey? Does anybody know? Well, I'm a veteran traveler now. Yes, veteran traveler. And also a bit seasoned, which ups the stewardship a bit. Chalk means like me, and the travel will be much more safer the next time I decide to go somewhere. My health was poor, but now I'm feeling fine. So I assume they do stack together. Wait 20 months, I'll get one more perk to get this, and I'll switch over to go for medicine. Because I like to live long. Because I still have much more roles to play. Now look. I know I have my son. I'll think about what type of tournament we should do. He's 25. Only has a granddaughter now. He didn't come with us during the pilgrimage, but don't worry, he's here now. If you two want to have more children, it's up to you two. Again, he's strong and he's that much, so I would like to see his skills be improved. I mean, at least he has traveled. I'll think about it. Gold discount, militia camps. Actually, one more time. What bill does it reduce? Archery. But look, I know the old age is getting to me, and I still have good exercise. I think I have a little bit of it in me. Yeah, I think I know what to do exactly. Let's have an archery contest, but keep well in mind. My bow contest aptitude is terrible, but maybe my other fighters, including my son, would be better at it. I was only good at recital, and I could potentially be good at board games. So, it'll be an archery contest. And I'll try to participate. Maybe I can improve something. No cost. Son, you're my champion. Which, look it up, it didn't read the description. Any guests will have it up to attempt to qualify for the contest if they are eligible to subsequently compete in return. Ineligible guests may wander locales to gain unique rewards, spectate the contest they have it. And this is the champion that I decided to choose, which is my son. A champion can appoint in a grand tournament in order to represent me. Though whether I'm participating or not, though non-martial genders will generally find most use for them. Any rewards a champion receives in the contest will be shared with the person who appointed them. Just a thought. Like, perhaps I should, I was about to say, give him my sword. Unless he wins the archery contest, and maybe he'll get a weapon himself if he wins the whole thing. And also, I kind of want to compete. I mean, my son, he killed that one rabbit, and I thought maybe I could get back at him. Okay, that's a little too much. Fine then. Yeah, we could do that. Luxurious cabinets. Certain negative events are less likely to fire. So terms should be more than just sporting events. They should be entire sporting experiences. That's what it should be. And there will be fine prizes. There will be of masterwork or famed rarity. Without stakes, what's the point in a competition? I mean, I don't know if I really want to compete. I mean, I'd be terrible at archery, and maybe my son could be. I didn't mean he killed a rabbit. I mean, what I would prefer to do is to recruit, because I'm looking for good fighting men that they can join the court, so I can start expanding. I think that's what I'd rather do. So, I appointed him as champion. So, my personal champion. Which doesn't cost much. Hell, you can afford more. That'll be it. Speaking of hunting. Again, terrible. What? It can be improved upon. It's not going to be till 3 months. Today I was giving my great news. My son, Ismont. Oh, I thought it was my heir. But no, it's Ismont. He's fallen ill with cancer. I fear this is the end. Only a miracle can save him. Serbian son. Never had a chance to impregnate her. But now you have cancer, which hurts the fertility chance. But it's critical penalty. I hope he could beat cancer one day, so big causes do no more than is necessary. 5 years. Alright. The tournament is at hand at last. Many have flocked to my grounds in Harran, eager to prove their worth for simply enjoy the spectacle. The sun rises higher in the sky, and the shadows shorten. If I'm to compete in the archery contest, I must ensure that I will qualify. It will soon begin. No time to lose. Again, I have foot and horse experience, but no bow experience. Some would think I shouldn't really be doing this. But, you know, my son's there. But I'm here to recruit. Maybe we can start looking for people that go to these locales. That's where you're likely to find some. Whoops. Food and drink is abundant during the tournament. To the delight of the attendees, 3 peasants in particular seem to be sure what looks like an entire keg of spiced wine. Oh, I will get you. Where, you swine? One sputtered struggling. Let me throw an empty cup at his neighbor. Talia, sorry, ho ho ho. The victim covers his face, deflecting the attack. Help me, Saba. You're on your own there, you gonna. Last one exclaims, dying tired like one big gulp. These are all locals. Let's see their skills. My goodness, you're a bunch of also-rans, except you. Again, I'm here to recruit, you know, more fighting men, so they are rowdy, but I do need Furzan. It's because of my intent here. So I'll pay 10 gold to hire any of you. All 3 of you join. I'd rather keep you, Kana, than any of yous. And guests arrived. Gain prestige for that. Ooh, sorry. My forays. Oh. As the chaos recent is not gonna notice, nor the many servants turned away from his door. At the turning his request, I enter his lodgings. Velasquez acknowledges me with a scant since turning his shining sword over and over in his hands. All the world knows that I am a great and worthy Faris, growls he, and so without high-born attendants and grand gifts from my liege, I must refuse to compete. My attending contests in poverty would dishonor us both. Ooh. Compete! I'll give you anything. Oh. And look after my best person, I swear it. I'm a generous man, so this makes sense. You know, I'm nearly broke. To go visit the village. By village, you mean here. Pulling on the threads. A group of women have taken one of their houses as their primary weaving workshop, and I could clearly grasp that they are having a lively conversation about their ongoing journey. I lean on the window with great care remaining unnoticed. And that man, Abdul Wahad, I can't believe that they caught him yesterday in the act. One says, expertly weaving some threads. What secret? Did I hear that right? A witch. What does witchcraft do? Ooh, criminal. Well then. Strong hook. Stop right there. Good thing I just stopped right on time. Go to the temple. Although apparently I am gonna compete. I mean, it's still my intention, it's just I wasn't sure, so. As Talia moves aside to let me approach, I take a solemn moment alone in the temple near the tournament grounds. Pondering the presence of the gods, I find myself wondering as I wish, in my heart of hearts, to say I come from these days of revelry. I'd rather have son, win the whole thing. Guide my son, Sinan's hand. There's a 50% chance of that happening. Gotcha. Pay up. Don't have enough gold? No. I've qualified. So is my son. A varied crowd of contests mill about the butts, comparing bows and trading tales of their finest shots. The creak of the bows and twang of strings carry far, puncturing the hubbub. The smell of raisin wafting through the still air. My champion, Sinan, what's what? And they say I'm the favorite. We'll see about that, but... screw it, I'll place a bet. Thank you for paying the infantry fee. Place your bets. Appearing at the bookie at the tavern's dim light, I ponder the stream of Odyssey. Shouts over the heads of the milling punters. Wali Kamran is the archery favorite. 4-1 for Wali Kamran of Samara. My champion Sinan will triumph if he wins the thing, unless I beat him. Wait, I don't really intend to win the whole thing. I'm just doing it simply for the sake of it. Aerodynamics. The banners flutter, roll around as I step up to take my shot. Battered by the wind, the dust swirl past as I knock an arrow to the bow, and the sorrow making my eyes water. I wait for it to subside. I continue waiting. I don't think it's gonna stop. As a matter of what was the other thing? Actually, it wasn't my turn yet, was it? Just to report, The unfortunate Abdul Wahad forward as the next one just might work. 100% chance that the educators acquiesce. I studied the other's techniques. Quiet, please! The crowd murmurs pleasantly as Jamil takes his mark. I fancy to catch a few words on the wind. And clearly so does Jamil. He turns somewhat opportunely and addresses the crowd. Silence! Have some damned respect for the competitors! He grumbles cantankerously. A few titters come in response. Curry needs peace and tranquility, to which soon and out. What I think is he turns to brandish a fist towards Cromwell. This might be taken a bit too far. Oh dear, I feel a tickler stroke going on. Jackass. Dusk begins to draw slowly but steadily as the competition continues. The snapping of strings in a staccato rhythm. I lean on my bow, concerned of how this contest taken so far, such as when another competitor made a scene over the lack of quiet during her turn. The competition begins to draw to a close as arrows continue to fly into and past Levant. If I'm making an impact on proceeds from here, I must act now. One second. Need your help. With this wind, this trajectory should suffice. I step forward, knock, aim, draw, and loose. The crowd whistles through the air, darting deep into the target. The crowd erupts. There can be no arguments. It is a huge point in my favor. I am winning. Victory is so close. Only a few more arrows remaining for each pair. The end is at hand. One last knock. Alright, who has won the damn thing? The trumpets sound, the crowd clamors, the competitors begin to assemble, the contest is over. At someone at the moment of the sun being ready, the herald steps with a voice flinging across the scene. After many trials and tribulations, above all else, the truly spirited competition, we have our final three. In third place, the gutsy Ezekios. Coming in second, Wally Kamran. And of course, here's our victor, Wally Thumbin. I knew I could win. My champion Sinan has not managed to place it among the top three, unfortunately. But I actually won the thing. I lost my wager, but gained 30 gold. And I guess I'll be the one to receive the prize. I guess I do have a little archer in me. And all the qualifying contestants, including my son, they all have their experience of archery. And again, I always pause before one day till it begins this ceremony part, otherwise you can't do any of this. Let us go to the tavern. A great roar of laughter booms from the corner, where Ezekiel's while he sits. He's surrounded by a group of friends and new acquaintances, other entrants in the upcoming ceremony contest, all indulging in meat as they trade stories. As I pass, I can't help but consider a courageous little session. Enjoy your evening. As the sun comes down on the final day of the tournament, the mass crowds begin to disperse. I find myself ruminating results. I had the finest name in any archery. I was unable to find good candidates to join the ranks of my father's zone. Well, just a few rowdy ones. So, I won a prize ring, an ordained ring of excellent craftsmanship. It's silver shank topped by an onyx cabochon, offered and claimed by Wally Thabit as a prize in his archery contest. Perhaps a few words given out on the post. If words bring me some acclaim. That's nice. Those two who were married, now they're friends. Guess they feel bad about each other, huh? So, that's it for this tournament. Health is poor now. Small health boost with the bow. Perhaps I should do more of that. But now we're back down to the amount of money that I used to have very often. But do not worry. It'll all work things out. Confederate partition. They keep getting everything. We'll end this episode soon. Just thinking about, okay, what do we do from here? Ah yes, in about 2 months, Hound Pens will be complete, and then subsequently, levy size will be sufficient enough to, expand the realm. I really want to outlive Amir Hassan, so that way the realm would be split between his 2 sons, and then, or just take the whole damn thing if you want to risk it. And he's got no allies, whereas I do. He may have more levies, but he doesn't have the men-at-arms like we do. So, let's end this episode as soon as this building is finished its construction. There'll be no more travel. And, well then, Hassan has just dropped dead. That's for the next era. Doesn't have the barracks innovation. Well, that also concerns the Syriac culture. Far from it. So we will end the episode on that note. So that episode was all about this great travel, and then an archery contest, which at least my son now has some experience with the bow to a degree. And he'll inherit my sword. And hopefully he has a little more children. It is male preference, agnatic, cognatic, as we're pagans. So in the next episode, we're just going to be fighting in 2 wars. One to get this, and another to get that. Because I don't want to take on the duchy as a whole, because, there'll be backup. So finally, in the upcoming episode, we're finally going to expand the realm, and we will take this duchy. Yeah. And then, and eventually, I mean, it's like, yes, I'll be the Duke, but I also want to break out of independence from Armenia, knowing that we will have more levies, more income. Well, it's just meaning income. That just means more levies for us. And I don't know how much longer that I'll live, but I'll do everything in my power to keep myself healthy. And let my son continue to improve his craft, whatever it may be. So I hope you people enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you in the next one. But until then, so long for now.